The night was cold, the wind howling through the cracks of the small auto repair shop. Mark Evans, a struggling mechanic, locked up for the night, stretching his aching muscles. He had worked since dawn, fixing cars for customers who barely paid enough to keep the lights on. Life had never been easy for him, but he never let it break his spirit. As he turned to leave, a small rustling sound caught his attention. Frowning, he walked toward the back of the garage where he kept spare parts and old tires. That's when he saw her, a little girl, no older than 7 or 8, curled up on a pile of rags, fast asleep. Her clothes were torn, her hair a tangled mess, and her face smudged with dirt. Mark's heart clenched at the sight. "Hey, sweetheart," he said softly, crouching beside her. "Are you okay?" The girl stirred, blinking up at him with wide, fearful eyes. She shrank back, hugging herself tightly. "It's okay," Mark assured her. "I won't hurt you. Are you lost?" She didn't answer right away, just stared at him with wary eyes. Finally, she whispered, "I don't know where to go." Mark swallowed hard. He could tell she had been on the streets for some time. Maybe she was abandoned. Maybe she had run away from something worse. Either way, he couldn't just leave her like this. "Come on," he said gently. "You must be hungry. Let's get you something to eat." He took her inside his small office, where he had an old fridge with a few leftover meals. He warmed up some soup and handed her a sandwich. She ate hungrily, barely pausing to breathe. Between bites, he learned her name was Lily. She didn't remember much about how she got there, only that she had been wandering for days. Mark didn't press her for details. Instead, he let her eat, wrapped her in a blanket, and let her sleep on his old couch for the night. The next morning, Mark knew he had a choice to make. He could call the authorities, but something in his gut told him she needed more than that. So he took the day off, bought her some clean clothes, and took her to a small diner. Slowly, Lily started to open up. She had no family, no home. Mark saw the sadness in her eyes, a reflection of the loneliness he had felt all his life. Days turned into weeks, and without realizing it, Mark became Lily's protector. He enrolled her in school, taught her how to ride a bike, and even fixed up an old car just for weekend trips to the park. She filled his once empty life with laughter and purpose. One day, as Mark worked on a car, a woman walked into his shop. She wore a business suit and had an air of quiet authority. "Are you Mark Evans?" she asked. "Yes," he replied cautiously. "I'm Emily Carter from the Social Services Department." Mark's heart sank. He had known this day might come. "You're here for Lily." Emily nodded. "We received a report about a missing child. But after reviewing the situation, we see that you've given her a stable home. In fact, she speaks of you like a father." Mark felt his throat tighten. "I'd do anything for her." Emily smiled. "Then you should know that we've started the paperwork for you to legally adopt her, if that's what you want." Tears welled in Mark's eyes. He looked over at Lily, who was playing with a stray puppy outside, her laughter ringing through the shop. She had already changed his life in ways he never imagined. "Yes," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "I want her to be my daughter." Months later, the adoption was finalized. Mark, the poor mechanic who had once lived a lonely, struggling life, was now a father. And Lily, the lost girl who had no home, finally had a family. Together, they proved that love isn't about where you come from. It's about who stands by you, no matter what. And in the end, they had saved each other.